Hey guys, little summertime chore video. We're gonna do some trap prep today. Stay tuned. Hey guys, I'm going to take you through a little bit of a trap prep video today. It's going to be quick and easy, simple. I'm just here in this little kind of lean-to building we got where I can hang up my traps. I'm going to be running speed dip, but if you are using salt on your traps like I do, the most important thing is as soon as you pull those at the end of the season, you want to get them washed off, pressure washed immediately. Get that salt off your traps. I've already done that. Make sure your traps are clean. Pressure wash them. I mean, that's all you need is a pressure washer, or take them to the car wash and wash them off that way. Most of these have been speed dip before. A couple of them were new last year, so I just used them and let them rust over, and this will be their first time in the dip. But start off with good clean traps, and that's your first step. I got speed dip here, so I'm gonna flip the camera down for you guys. You can see me get that mixed up. All right, fellas, you can use whatever kind of trap dip product you like. I'm just running speed dip. I've been running it for years, and I've got a bucket here that I used last year. I've been using this same product for quite a few years now. Each year I'll just gradually add a little bit to it, and of course some of it evaporates off each year, so I got some premium gasoline here that I'm going to pour in there until I get it to the consistency that I like. And I prefer it, this is really thick right now. I'll try to give you a better view here in a second, but I prefer it pretty thin. I just want a very light coating of the dip on these traps. And whenever you get the product new, just make sure you go by the directions on the can. I forget what it is, what the ratio is. I think it's equal parts fuel and speed dip, but don't quote me on that. Just gonna go ahead and mix this up until I get that consistency I'm looking for. Alrighty guys, I got this to the consistency that I want. Nice and thin. We'll go ahead and get set up and we'll start dipping these traps. Alrighty boys, we're ready to go for a swim. We're just gonna dunk our traps in, make sure everything's coated. And I can kind of tell on my consistency by what it does to the links of that chain. If it starts gumming up the eyes in those chains, it's too thick for my liking. This is perfect. It runs right off, as you can see. I like to grab a couple links in for my swivel or my anchor point. Just makes it easier to hang it up on the wall. That's nice consistency like I like. And be sure, fellas, to wear something that you don't mind if it gets ruined, because you're gonna have drips, you're gonna have spills. It's just inevitable. You don't want to come home and have the wife giving you an earlobe for ruining your good boots, your good pants. Here we are, nice dip. Like I said, I've been using this stuff for years, and I've seen a lot of guys online ask the question on if you think adding the gasoline or your camp fuel, whatever you're using, if that's a detriment. But I don't think so. It evaporates off, it burns off. As long as you give yourself, I would be safe and give yourself a couple months before trapping season to get these dipped and get them hung up for that smell to burn off. That is the one downside. You know, there's other products that you can use immediately the next day. This one takes a little longer, but I've been pleased with it so far. Biggest thing is just making sure you got good clean traps to start with. Quick dip and hang them up. Alrighty guys, I'm zipping through these traps, and I got to these Bridger number 3s here that I have on long, this is 1/8 inch cable. for my anchor. It's about 10 foot of 1/8 inch cable. And it just reminded me, I wanted to talk a little bit about snares and dipping snares. If you guys want to dip your snares, paint your snares, whatever, there's probably nothing wrong with that. I have never dipped a snare, never painted a snare. We build 90% of our own, and what we do is we boil that cable or boil the finished snares in water and baking soda, get a little of that shine off, and get the grease off. Alright, buddy. Just to get that shine off and get the grease off, and then we run them like that. I've never had an issue with running them like that. My grandpa, who taught me how to snare, taught me how to build them, has caught thousands of coyotes, mainly with snares, and he's never dipped or painted one. So, just for what that's worth to you. As you can see, this is a pretty quick process. You can run through your traps pretty quickly. Just make sure you give yourself plenty of time in advance for them to hang and air out before season. And like I said multiple times, make sure your traps are good and clean before you do this. But very simple, very easy, goes pretty quick. We're just doing a few traps here today just to show you my process. And then I think got a few other chores we got to do. We're going to run and go check on some ingredients real quick. I'll probably take you with me for that. And then we got to go and bottle up some bait this evening. So I'll probably take you along on that adventure as well, guys. So Alright, this is the last one for now. On to the next one. Well, friends, welcome to the Stink Shack. Not to be confused with the Lure Lab. We got a little bit of fun we're checking on in here. It's a small batch of something or other for something that you guys are gonna like on your trapline. Take a look at that. Soupy mixture. Delicious. This is, I'll have to check the calendar, but this stuff is getting pretty close to where it needs to be. Yeah, it's basically there. Get that stopped within the next couple of days. Get the sodium benzoate to it and some pickling salt. That's pretty much where I want it. That'll be ready for formulation. Alrighty, next up is this little guy here. It's kind of crazy the nuances of the different odors within these different bases across different aging times. And we as humans tend to think that meat is meat, especially red meat that's been aged, rotted, or tainted. And that's just not the case. There's a lot of difference in these odors, and I think the animals tell us that as well. And we got some small batch experiments going on in here. Give this a check. Oh yeah, that's coming along really nicely. Some of you guys are going to have some of this on your line this fall, I can just tell, and you're going to be absolutely slamming coyotes with it. That's coming along really well. I'm gonna check on 2 other things off camera, and then we'll get to bottling up some bait. Well, friends, we grubbed up, bottling up some bait. Then I'm gonna go inside. We're gonna knock out a few bids tonight and hit the sack. Work tomorrow. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a quick little rundown on dipping my traps. It's easy, it's simple. I use a speed dip. You're welcome to use whatever you want. Hope you enjoyed just a little behind the scenes summertime chores. Till next time, fellas, God bless.